Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. How do I unlock skills? Strong arms, strong back, could be, or strong shoulders, well, for some exercises. What do you think? If you guessed by the video title, it's indeed your scapula. There are 17 muscles attached to your scapula, but I want to break it down and I want you to imagine the scapula as one muscle. The scapula is very important on your daily movements. If it's moving your arms, raising them, if it's pushing something or pulling something, because 17 muscles is basically your entire upper body, and your posture will depend on your scapula. So the scapula or shoulder blades are very complex, and that's why I want to make it easy to understand, especially if you're into calisthenics. Even if you're more into other fitness styles, you have probably heard of scapular retraction and scapular protraction. If you have never heard of it, I will show you. Scapular retraction is like a middle back shrug, so you pull backwards. I always like to give this example. Imagine you have a P on your upper back where your trapezius are, and now you want to squeeze that P with your trapezius muscles. The scapular protraction is the opposite. So you want to push everything forward, and you do this movement, and this happens to everyone. When you sweat and you have a shirt that is tighter, and you want to take it off and it's difficult to take it off, you actually protract your scapula as well, and it's the same thing. Push forward. These two movements you will hear a lot when mentioning the scapula, but there are two other movements, which is the scapular depression and scapular elevation. The scapular depression, you just basically press down, and the elevation, like the name says, you elevate your scapula. I know you're probably thinking, and how does this scapular thingy help me? In calisthenics skill upper body, it's the most important in my opinion. I will explain. In the front lever, if you follow my channel for a while, you know what skill I'm talking about. You pull like a cable lat pull over. But if you do the front lever and you just don't retract and depress your scapula, your form will be sloppy. Your lats can be strong as hell, but if you don't retract and depress, your front lever will be looking like this. And as you can see, it doesn't look very nice. You look like the hunchback of Notre Dame. And to correct it, like I said, you want to retract and depress. If you're watching this video at home, I want you to do it. So retract and depress. And when you do it, you will see that your traps and lats will engage. I want to start with retraction, and this exercise is not a calisthenics skill, but rather a weighted exercise, and it's the bench press. Very famous exercise indeed, but the technique can be confusing at first, because it's a pushing exercise, but you still need to retract and depress your scapula, and that will also engage your chest a lot more. This is crucial for your safety, because a lot of people can get injured, especially on the rotator cuff, but other muscles as well, because you push. And now if I protract my scapula, my shoulders will constantly fight that weight, and it's very unstable. And if you retract and depress, your chest takes over and your shoulders are safe. The planche, I can't do it, working on it though. It's a pushing exercise, and here you want to protract your scapula, so forward and then down, depress. And the back lever, the planche and the back lever have very similar mechanics, but the back lever, it's easier and your hands are over here. And with the back lever, it's the same thing. You want to protract and depress your scapula, because if you don't do it, your form on both of them, on the back lever and planche, will be sloppy. The handstand, however, it's elevation. When you're in the handstand position, you want to push the floor as much as you can, and that will make yourself taller, and that will make it much easier to hold the handstand, and it's cleaner. And if you really have a strong scapula, you will be able to do the press to handstand. You also need strength on the other muscles to do those skills, but the scapula is the secret to unlocking skills. Now, I've talked about the importance of the scapula in your posture, in movements, and also in calisthenics. But what to do when you have a weak scapula? There's a condition of the scapula that is called winged scapula, and it looks like this. It's awful, I know. It can be painful when you're moving your arms or raising them, and you will also feel weak. One of the reasons of this conditioning could be that you have a weak scapula. But if you have it like this, please check a doctor. But if you don't have a winged scapula, you just have a weak scapula, here are some exercises that you can do. One of the exercises, I call it like that, is the scapular retractions and protractions. In this exercise, you want to protract your scapula and then retract your scapula. This exercise is more to learn the movements and to work on your mind-muscle connection with your scapular muscles. And two that you will feel a lot when doing this is the serratus anterior and your trapezius muscles. Next exercise, scapular push-ups. Here you want to be in a push-up position and then literally sink your upper back. So be like this and then push the floor and then let's sink again and then push again. If it's too difficult, you can also do it on your knees. This is a protraction exercise, so it's good for pushing exercise. Now as for depression, you have scapular depressions. Sit on the floor just like the L sit and now push the floor as much as you can so that your bum lifts the floor. Like this. If you're more advanced, you can do them on the dip bars. You do this move when you're doing dips. So when you do dips, you never want to sink and do dips. Never do that, right? And as you can see, the scapular depression is good for depressing movements. And you can also hang on a pull-up bar and then shrug up. That will also work on the same. For retractions, scapular retractions. For this exercise, grab the dip bar and be in the Australian push-up position and now shrug up. This exercise, the scapular retractions, is beginner friendly, but you will need a dip bar, and the scapular retractions is good for pulling exercises. Now for elevations, pike shrugs. Like the pike push-ups, but you do it only with your scapula. You can do it like me, with your knees on top of the chair, or you can do it with your legs extended, like this. The more advanced, you can do it with your feet on top of the chair, like this. And then the more advanced, you can also do against the handstand shrug against the wall. And it's obvious, it's great for overhead movements. Alright guys, I know it was a lot of information and probably new exercises as well. They are all beginner friendly, which is great, but guys, remember that your scapula is very important for your movements, even outside fitness. So take care of your scapula, do stretching exercises as well, because they will help with mobility. And to those who do calisthenics, if you're not getting the results that you would like to, just check if it's not a weak scapula. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. Alright guys, and I will end it here. I really hope you found this video helpful. If it was, make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you won't miss any upcoming videos. I'll see you next time. Thank you and see ya.